Paleteras.
I think my favorite Disney movie, honestly, it's low-key Frozen.
No, I don't think I can ever hear that
Here's the
song
thing.
ever again.
Here's the thing. I analyzed the score of Frozen for a film scoring class, and the score is just beautiful because it's based in Iceland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's based in Iceland. It's based in like kind of just what is it called?
Icelandic like folk.
Yeah, like that kind of that upper like icy area of the world.
The Frozen area, you know?
The right. But they use a lot of Swedish music techniques.
Okay.
So there's like a buka horn, which is just like the horn of like this like animal that they have out there.
Mm-hmm.
In some parts, they have this singing called calling that is just like really high pitched singing that women actually use to like herd like lambs and stuff out there.
Interesting.
And they like it's so loud. It's like a technique that you only learn like out there.
Yeah.
And it just carries.
Yeah.
And they use it like in the score to kind of evoke this kind of like empty and like vastness. You know? And that's kind of like what Elsa's like feeling in the whole film. Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting way to like
so I'm
look
like
at the film.
they honestly they like culturally they like really did the work.
They did good work. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. But like, you know, all we hear about it is let it go.
Right. That's the song I don't want to hear again.
It's a queer anthem too.
It is. Yeah.
Oh,
you know, rumor has it she's gay.
Well, the whole a lot of people say like,
God.
The queer reading is like she's lesbian.
She's like
goes
queer. Back home, watches it.
Literally, like
I mean, watch it a little differently now.
The shot.
Wait, should we kick off officially?
Yeah, let's do it. With salud.
Salud a la vida.
Salud. Hi,
Paletitas.
Todis. We are toasting. This is Las Paleteras con Chile. Para los que no saben, Las Paleteras con Chile is an unfiltered version of the show. We get together in Joel's living room, and you know, not in studio, just a little more unfiltered, a little more. ¿Qué más?
Casero,
tranqui.
A little
un poquito
homey,
más
cozy.
You know,
con
la
chile.
lengua suelta.
Con la lengua suelta.
Con cabello suelto, mija.
Spicy.
Yes.
Tits out.
And
Tits out.
And we also, another cool thing is that on Las Paleteras con Chile, we get to hear from our producers. So
yeah,
producer Joel is here with us today, and Sheila over here, and then we also
have a very special guest.
Yes, would you like to introduce yourself?
No.
You're like, no, you introduced me, bitch.
I'm like, hello?
Bring my bio. Pull up their bio. Hurry.
Right.
Rápido.
3, 2, 1. You know,
we're not prepared. We're not prepared because this is Las Paleteras con Chile, so we don't do our homework.
No, hello, everyone. My name is Yaya Vasquez Lopez. I am formerly known as the Makeup Mariachi. Right, yeah. I've actually passed the title on to a friend of mine now.
Wow.
Okay. So we'll get into that. But yeah, I'm a community organizer, a mariachi musician, and just a general artist and trans activist, I guess, out here in LA.
Yes. Multi-talented, multifaceted.
Yes, thank you.
No, I mean we love seeing you at your mariachi performance. So
oh my God, yeah.
So talented.
I love that y'all come so much. I'm like, thank you. You guys are the best. You know? We don't have a show without the audience. You know,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're so talented. It's always a blast seeing you perform and just like seeing you grow and continue your journey as a performer is amazing.
Thank you.
What's the name of the group?
Oh,
and then how often do y'all perform? Tell us a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm in Mariachi Arcoiris de Los Angeles. That's the Rainbow Mariachi for y'all non-Spanish speakers. And we are the world's first, and I think only again, LGBTQ mariachi in the world, like ever in the world. They've been yeah. There was another queer mariachi in Colombia, I think a couple years back, but I don't think they're active anymore.
Okay.
But they were inspired by Arcoiris.
Oh wow! Well, you know Colombia. I mean, their whole mariachi culture.
Yeah. It's so.
I love that connection.
It's so funny, you know, like Colombia and also Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Are like two big mariachi loving countries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to go someday, you know?
Yes,
putting it out there. I have to go.
Yeah. I actually interviewed someone that was like a mariachi scholar. So I'm forgetting her name.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up and I'll let you know.
Jesse?
No me acuerdo su nombre because it was many years ago.
I'm like, because I probably
like they work in that field,
Yeah.
and like they also, I think they like are involved with some museum. Yeah, aparte like they're a scholar, and so they've been to Japan and did some work around that. So I knew a little bit about that. Yeah, and also cool. Japan kind of has like a Chicano culture, not culture, but like the style that they also
they embrace it.
That they
they love the homie kind of look too.
Yeah.
It's like when Stefani did it, it's our turn.
Oh, right.
When Stefani now has evolved into like
a Republican.
Right.
Like
but get this though, she was always a Republican.
Yeah.
And
like blinded.
Right. I saw this TikTok that was like, if you notice, like all of her songs ever have just been about like wanting to just get married and just like live like the trad wife.
So it was literally just like her outfits that were like a little like appropriating.
She was just like a little punk, but
yeah, like a little reggae. Even the reggae from No Doubt, appropriation everywhere.
Girl, she appropriates
everything, like no crumbs.
I'm gonna start saying that.
But we were all like bamboozled by her. Anyway,
we were.
Backing up, we were off track.
This is important information.
So Mariachi Arcoiris. When are your next shows? How often do you perform?
Let's see. Right now, well, it's Pride Month, so we always have actually like a bit of gigs. Thank goodness. Actually, as of right now, recording this, we're gonna play at the SFV like Valley Pride on Saturday, and then on Sunday we're actually playing at BMO Stadium for LAFC.
Wow!
No way!
Yeah, and that's gonna be my first time. I think they've performed for them once before. So we're gonna do like the national anthem, like the whole gig.
Wow.
Pero I'm excited. It's my first time.
I love that. It's gonna be so beautiful.
Yeah. So we get
that's a big stage.
Yeah, we get some like really cool gigs. We played at Dodger Stadium, who is now canceled. But that was
They're
cool.
trying to get back in on our good side.
Yeah, they're like, well, $1 million. Like,
they're like,
come on, losing the purse string.
They're like, man, we paid Yaya off to talk about us too. No, but that was cool. Just like in itself, the geographical location to play there was really cool.
Yeah.
And that was right after that we came back from a stint in Colorado, like a 24-hour trip. And we played at like this, we played at this opera house there for like a folklorico show.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Yeah, I'm really, really grateful to be performing with Arcoiris and to just be getting to know the world. Right now, we're actually preparing for our movies, musicals, and mariachi concert at the LA LGBT Center.
Wow.
On July 31st.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
buy tickets.
Where
can you find the tickets?
You can find the tickets. I think it's like on the LA LGBT Center website, but if anything, look us up on Instagram and it's in the bio.
Are you guys? What does that entail? Are you guys like playing music to the films? Or?
Oh no, it's literally just music from movies and musicals.
Oh,
but with only the mariachi.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna hear Frozen?
You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm like, dang, I should have proposed that. I really should have proposed that.
So it's too late.
It's too late. Maybe next year. But what we are doing is a West Side Story suite, which I'm really excited about. And I actually also arranged Under the Sea from Little Mermaid. And we changed the lyrics up, to make it more queer and mariachi.
Yeah.
So
under the sheets,
we read it for the first time last night. Oh my god, it's it's a train wreck right now, but like, I'm so excited. It just sounds like so good.
It's gonna be
full, and I
amazing.
What I like to do when it's like songs that have been on Broadway stages is I look up like the original Broadway like score, and then I just like basically adapt it for mariachi.
Yeah.
And it's just such a magical feeling. That's what I did with Defying Gravity, which we play regularly now. And we're also going to be doing that too.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
No, it's really cool. I'm like kind of living my Broadway dream out like with the mariachi.
I love that. So, I'm so inspired by that. I feel like I want to nerd out and see like what the process of like of arranging is.
Oh my god.
I'm just so curious. Like I had a very short stint in music.
Oh, tell me.
I played the trumpet when I was like when I was young, and I was in the jazz band and I was in the marching band, and I stopped playing. But
you played quite a bit then.
Yeah, but like only for like 5 years, and then
That's a long time.
Yeah, so it was like enough to like
be in it.
Yeah, and learn how to read music, but it's been so long now that like, but I'm still like really fascinated by it. So I have this like goal of like one day picking it up again and learning again and joining a mariachi. So maybe in the next
come to rehearsal.
X years, like I could plan I don't know, in 5 años.
I've always wanted to like learn an instrument or sing. I mean, I only play the skin flute, but besides that, like, no.
No, yeah. I mean, trumpet players are kind of like drummers out here in the mariachi scene.
What's that mean?
So they're like a rare commodity.
Oh, really?
Across. Yeah.
Oh,
like a good one. If you get a good one, that's why like whenever if you need a sub or something, it's like really hard to find like a good solid trumpet player.
Yeah.
Because they're already like booked,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I feel like unfortunately you have to be like I feel like when you're not a good trumpet player, you really hear that.
Yeah. It's not the nice sound.
That's true, right? I mean, is there an instrument where it doesn't matter that much? Maybe guitars, right? A little bit. It's just it's not as. Which one's not? I feel like the trumpet's just harsh. And so
the trumpet.
The whole band is like.
No.
Whenever
the trumpet says stuff, I'm like, ooh. Okay, girl. I was like, that was a cool note. No, but they're so funny, but the great thing about trumpet players too is that they're so like they're confident. You have to have like a certain amount of confidence to play trumpet.
Yeah. Because you got to be okay with taking up space.
Yeah. So that's what I love because like when they mess up, they're like, I messed up. And I'm like, you did. And I love that you're aware of that. So let's not do that.
Love is self-aware communicating.
Yes. I guess an instrument where you don't notice it that much, I would say like the guitar, the vihuela, but that one is very like rhythm.
Yeah.
So if you're off a little bit, you also you feel it. You don't notice it, you don't hear it, but you feel it. I would say the heart. Because all you can do is the only thing is it costs a fortune.
You don't know exactly that like they're fucking up because you're just like
as long as you look mythical and you fucking pull them, right? Like,
right. Even if it's not in the right key, if you just do a little ring, like oh my god, there's a heart. The only downside is it costs a fortune. Right. The only downside is it costs a fortune to like get started on that.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna store that bitch. Imagine like you come in and you have a giant heart like in your living room.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So
wait. We are also toasting.
Yeah.
We're toasting for another reason. Go ahead.
Oh, we're toasting because I got my green card. You guys. Through the mail. I got it. My actual green card.
You're green.
I'm green. Yes, I am.
Thank you.
But yeah, I got my green card, so I feel very blessed. I feel very, like a weight off my shoulders. I feel a little bit of guilt too, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm grateful. It's like a bunch of mixed emotions. I've been undocumented for my whole life here in the United States, which has been since I was 8. So
I'm
32. Do the math. I'm not gonna do it for you.
24. That was great.
That was quick.
Thank you. I use Excel.
We love a formula. Damn, that's crazy though.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. So it's like it's something that's like been a big insecurity and a big like thing that's bogged me down for so long that now that it's like here, it kind of feels like it's not real, but at the same time, like it's like the state of which the country and the cities in, it just feels so weird. I feel protected, but I don't feel protected.
Right.
You know what I mean? I still feel the same. Like it's like and I am the same. It's like un poquito más de derechos, but it's like at the end of the day, like
it's a piece of plastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Very that.
Especially right now, it's like you're like I have more derechos, but like how solid are these derechos?
Yeah.
Right? Like how much can I really trust them?
I'm like I am excited to travel. To go visit Mexico.
Yeah, I was saying now you can get your
country.
card. You can go back. You can go to Mexico.
Yeah. Eli asked me. My husband Eli. He asked me. He's like, "El otro productor." He's like, "Where do you want to go for your first place? To visit?" And I was like, "Culiacan," which is my home city.
Yes.
I'm like, I want him to meet my my family. I want to learn Culiacan because I left when I was 8. So Culiacan's like a blurry dream at this point. I did go back a few years ago, 2 years ago, and that was really nice. I got to visit everyone, but it was like 4 days. It was through advanced parole, so it was part of the process as well of getting my green card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to go introduced my husband to my family, who were all very open to meeting him. They were all asking like, "Where is he?" When I went back, I told him to stay back just because I wanted to experience that myself, like my family myself.
Totally.
Before.
That makes sense.
But yeah, it was.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to Mexico City and
yeah,
explore everywhere.
Oh my God. Can we take a trip together?
Yes, I would love that.
I want to go back so bad.
How about you just take a break and just go traveling?
Right?
Nice. I win the lottery. What was the fun?
If I win the lottery, I will allocate some money for you, Joel.
Oh,
I really will.
Yeah. Patreon link is in the bio. You know?
Donate,
or you know what? Yeah. Y'all can donate.
What's your Venmo, Joel?
Yeah. What is it? 125 subscribers. If you all donate,
$1,000, we can make this
little boy's dream come true.
Boo Dodgers, right? What's up, Eli?
Hola, Lola.
Hola, Lola. Cara de bola.
Never heard that.
You never heard that one?
Yeah, no, only Lola. Well, you guys, back to our main star over here, our guest, Miss Yaya. I met Miss Yaya. Eli and I met Miss Yaya at a Me Too party.
It was at the Diez Madre party.
At the Diez Madre party. And prior to that, I personally had not had any trans friends. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Prior to meeting you, yeah. And I told Eli, which is funny because around the same time too.
Is that when
Eli
you didn't have any lesbian friends? I was
yes.
Just the other day, he was like, "Oh, me and Eli were like, we don't have any lesbian friends."
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, they made lesbian friends.
Yeah,
I love you actually embracing the whole rainbow.
Así pasa. Like, not even kidding. Honestly, when I joined Arcoiris, I was like, I had been manifesting like, I really just want like a queer Latina like community, like so bad.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
like
all
crazy.
we gotta do is ask.
We really do.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Open up your mind and like heart and like hope it happens. But yeah, before that, I was like, oh my God, we don't have any lesbian friends. We don't have any trans friends. I'm like, I would like to like experience like these friends, get to know people, and just like learn from each other and ask questions and just like get close to our family, our queer family. Yeah. So. Gay guys can get boring sometimes.
Can.
Yeah. What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Not you though. Well, you're gay.
It is.
It is.
Gay. ¿Acaso eres?
So we met Yaya and we connected and
we were dancing. We met on the dance floor. I think,
oh yeah. What were you dancing to? Do you remember?
Oh, it was some like cumbia or like I have this in my mind today because we filmed a TikTok. It was like, no.
Stop it. We filmed the TikTok?
No. I filmed the one today.
No.
It was me with that song. And I would like, that's all that's in my head. But I feel like it was that kind of vibe, like some kind of like real like Mexican Theo shit.
It was fun.
We were just like,
it was a fun night. Yeah. And then we exchanged numbers and we're like, let's link up. You know how sometimes you do it and you never
we did like talk for a bit.
We didn't, I
forgot who reached out first, but we
went
out for coffee and it was cute.
And then we keep meeting up. We keep coming back to each other. So it's very nice. So I appreciate you.
I love you so much.
I love you too, baby.
Thank you.
And we wanted to have you on. Oh.
Yeah. What about her?
Oh, tú también. I love you too.
That's crazy. I love Joel. Joel's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, we wanted to have you on because we haven't had any trans family in Las Paleteras just yet, and we just wanted to talk to you about your experience as a person, as a person in this environment, as a person in Pride Month, as a person, an artist as well, which we've talked about, and I guess just want to know a little more about your journey, and like I don't think I've actually even asked you.
Yeah, no.
Like,
what's so funny? I was just telling Sheila about this. Pero like last night we did a Pride panel at work, and it was basically about trans feminine identities, right? And it was a really great moment. We all got to learn a lot about each other, and then afterwards we're like, this was really cool. We all were like realizing how much we don't talk about just like our actual queerness and identities with each other as a queer community. And mostly because like there's no need to, right? We don't. That's the great part about queer communities, that we don't have to like always be explaining.
Right.
But I feel like we forget how cool it is to like talk about it, and like how our experience is so different than like our sisters or like our queer families. And so I don't know, it was just such a moment where I was like, I want to do more of this. I feel like we need more of this as a community. You know, just more platform and space to just talk about these things. Yeah. So thank you for having me. I'm like really excited to get into it.
I love it. It's very, very important just to like everyone be aware of each other's experiences.
Yeah.
That's how you build respect and love towards each other, right?
You're gonna learn a lot about me.
All right, let's get to learning. Share with us. I'm like genuinely curious because I haven't heard this before. Just like your experience, like finding your identity. You know, because I met you as Yaya. You know, and recently you posted a video of yourself as Alan.
Yeah,
on
TikTok.
Previously.
Oh my god, there's lore, dude. There's hella lore. So okay, so I was born Alan Fernando Vasquez Lopez, right? And I do love my old name because it was given by my parents with such love and intention. The Alan is ALLAN, right, with 2 L's. The AL comes from my mom's dad, Alvaro, and then the AN comes from my dad's dad, Juan. And they just added an extra L because they wanted to be like American or whatever. And I love that. I don't know, like when they told me, I don't even remember when like they told me that. It was probably in like 7th grade when I was having an identity crisis and I wanted to go by Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah. I wanted to be white so bad. It was crazy. That's a story for another day. But that's when I learned that, and I don't know, it made me appreciate the name a little bit more. And you know, because the double L makes like a Y sound in Spanish, right? In college, I met this trans girl, Angela Divina, and she immediately, you know, she like saw my name and she was like, so what's your name? Ayan? And I was like, and you know, some people have called me that before, like family or whatever, because of the double L.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not my name. And she's like, oh, well, your name is Ayan. And I was like, whoa. And that just kind of like incited something in me. And so that's what I started going by. And it was like interesting to like kind of be able to name myself or rename myself in a way. Yeah. And that's kind of where when I started to identify as non-binary. I came out really young in like 2009 in high school. And it was great. You know, I came out as bi, as we all do, unfortunately. As we all did. We all used to do.
No,
I think we still do.
I did. Did you?
I did. Yeah. I did. I had a girl.
We ease into it, or you just don't know yet.
It's our toe. Yeah, exactly. It's like even as a young person.
You're still figuring it out.
The wind blows,
and we don't know about bi erasure when we're young. You know? But you know, I came out as bi. I don't even think I ever officially came out as gay, except to like my mom. Because I was outed by like a text message by this guy that I was like texting at the time.
I'm dead. That's a text message.
It was crazy. And then she was like, "What is this?"
¿Qué te mandó?
It was literally just like he didn't send really anything, but you know how you used to have signatures on text messages?
Yes.
And
I don't remember that.
Yeah, remember? I get home and we have
signatures.
Yeah.
Like you could just like have like a stock like little signature that like ends every text message.
Or a lot of people did like a bunch of like letters.
Yeah, or like symbols. They made
a picture, like symbols. Yeah, with like shimmers and shit.
Yeah. And so his was, "Will you be my novio?" And I was just right, and I was like subtle. Wait,
to you or just was he sending that to everyone?
I guess that. Well, that's a great question. I had not thought of that. I'm gonna go have a good cry in the bathroom right now. It was for me, you know. I'm claiming that. But she saw that and she was like, "What is this?" And so she was like, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "No, I'm bi." And she was like, "You can't be bi. You're either gay or straight."
No, parents think that. My mom kind of like, she didn't get it. She didn't get being bi.
You know, my parents are so interesting. But yeah, that's what she said, and I was like, "All right, I'm gay." And she was like, "We still love you." And I was like, "Oh, thank God."
So you had like just like 1 second of anxiety.
Literally,
I'm glad it was just 1 second.
Right, I was like, "Oh God." But you know, things were naturally weird after that. But you know, they came around, and then the non-binary thing was happening when I was like at art school. and I was living away from home. I was living on campus, so I got to spend time away from family and more time with like artsy people, and I got to meet non-binary people, which is like big, and just non-binary and trans people, trans Latino people, and I think that just seeing those kinds of people exist, especially artists, I think there's just a connection with like artists that is different too. Just kind of like made me be like, oh, is that what I am? I'll never forget, Angela invited me to this it was like a non-binary only people like lunch or whatever, because she was the leader of the queer club, right? And she was like, oh wait, I have this like lunch for like non-binary people, but like you could come if you want. And I was like, oh no, like I don't want to like take up space, or whatever. And she was like, if you want to though, like you can come. And I was like, okay, I'll just come and like check it out. That's fine. I'll just come. And
I love how like these like queer elders or like elders,
right.
That are, like always
a few years. They're like 1 year old.
I know, but that
except
like,
I'm like older than her too, but she's very much like
She came into herself.
Her aura is very much like an elder for sure.
But it's usually like there's people that like don't like create space for us without. There's always like without like pushing you into.
And I do love that and appreciate that. And that's kind of like low key what I'm doing now. To some sisters. I'm like, so what's your name, girl? But I went, and it was literally just a lunch. We literally were just eating
Kiki.
But it was like with this whole group of non-binary people, and I was like, this is cool. I think this is what I am. And through like experimenting with makeup and then starting drag during the pandemic, that's kind of how Yaya kind of came to be.
Oh, okay. So the pandemic.
Oh yeah, the pandemic
was relatively like not that long ago.
No, I only started going by Yaya in 2022.
Oh,
it's like right when I met
you.
Literally, that's why it's so crazy. Like earlier that year is when I started like being Yaya, and I had met you after this whole like theater stint that I did in Alabama and Ohio, and that was actually the space where I got to like try out this new name. My parents were actually the first ones to ask me if I wanted to go by a different name.
Really?
And I didn't even know like what inspired the question or what they were like thinking, but one day they were just like, ¿Y quién, like, hay otro nombre que quieres que te llamemos? I was like, oh, what weird question to ask. We had spent a lot of time
together. Ahead of the game.
So ahead. They clocked me so hard.
Yo, but that's so beautiful. No,
Isn't it?
I don't know how it felt to you, but sharing that, I was like, wow. Like,
it is.
Latino parents to...
Dude, I'm really just so blessed. Like, they've always been like my biggest fans when I like joined Arcoiris, like it's my mom supports me just to the end of the world. But that did kind of catch me off guard because I was like, oh, low-key, I have been thinking about a name. Like, they're like, okay, we'll call you Yaya. I was like, okay, I guess that's it then. All right, good.
Your family anointed you.
Right, they were like, boom, you're Yaya.
So wait, what made you?
How'd you choose it? Is that what you're gonna ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Yaya comes from. There's this Disney film called The Three Caballeros. Have you seen it?
Someone with Daffy Duck.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Donald Duck. Wrong franchise. But yes. It was the birds, right? So it was Donald Duck. It was Jose Carioca, who was the Brazilian parakeet bird.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes, but I don't.
And then like Pancho something or other, the Mexican bird, right?
Yeah.
And so Donald just basically goes on like an expedition through South America to like, I don't know, show everyone the culture. And this was low key back when like Disney was still kind of woke, And so they like showcased all this culture in Brazil. That's kind of how I got to fall in love with like samba and bossa nova, which I didn't even know until like I was in college. And that's how I kind of got an appreciation for mariachi music too, through the music of Mexico.
I was gonna say from this movie.
From this movie, yeah.
For real.
They sing. I mean, they did "Sabor a mí." They did that's that other song. Another bolero. I just love songs. I'm just my favorite kind of songs. But in Brazil, there was this girl who was selling like little Brazilian pastries, and her name was Yaya. and she was just gorgeous, like feminine woman. Out, like all the men wanted her, and she was like, like all like just selling her little cookies, and
everyone wanted that cookie.
And I always was just like,
and you were mesmerized.
I was just like, I love her, like, and I don't know why, like around that time, that name was just in my head. I was just like, I just love that name, like Yaya, but like Yaya, more kind of I guess more Mexican Spanish-ized. And so that was the name that I kind of just went by for that year. And it was also kind of like an evolution of from Ayan, because I don't know, like I'm a music person, and I'm like a nerdy music person. And so when I started to learn more about like vocals too, there's just different kind of like spirits that like a consonant kind of inspires, right? So like, and I always felt like Alan was very close, like very just like right, and that's very much how I was my whole childhood, my whole adolescence, just kind of like shy boy. And with Ayan, the kind of like opened me up a little bit, right?
100%, I hear
and
that.
now with like
I feel
it's
it.
like it's like 100 just It's like, no, I'm gonna say it twice, bitch.
She's gonna raise her
bitch, I raise my yaya every day, honey.
No, I love that. Even when you said Ayan earlier, I was like, already that name.
That name's beautiful too.
Right? It was you were already a different place in your journey, and you very much were, right? And names are so powerful.
They're so powerful. Like, and so when I was going by Yaya, I tried it out in this theater thing that I did in Alabama and Ohio, because I like knew nobody at all from this project. And so I was like, well, the goodest time as any to like try out a new name, And almost immediately, like the first day, everyone was like, yeah, I love your name, and this and that. And I was just like, yeah, that's my name for sure. So I kind of kept that. And then now, like to modern times, my full name is Yalitza Angelina Vasquez Lopez. Because I always felt like Yaya was like a nickname. It's very like, that's what my friends call me, but I want like a full like legal name. But then that was like another thing of like, I gotta choose another name. And I was watching the movie Roma.
Of course.
I had watched it, when it came out, and I was like, so like it really hit me because that's my mom's story. She like worked in houses in Ensenada and like in the Ciudad de Oaxaca. As a little girl, she honestly like barely even like lived in Oaxaca like any of her childhood, because she just had to go to work immediately. And she'd just always tell me stories about like the rich people's houses that she cleaned. There was like one house that had a monkey, and she had to like feed it, and then one time it like grabbed her arm, and like she was like so scared, and then they were like, okay, you don't gotta feed the monkey anymore.
Just don't sue us.
Right. Well, I mean, girl. So, just all of these stories that I would always hear about her, just growing up and cleaning houses. So when I saw that, I just cried at the first, like, that first shot when they like pan across the house and it's just her like picking up clothes around. It's like one long shot. And I just cried because I was like, I never thought that I would see a version of like my mom's story on like a screen like this, And pues la actriz se llama Yalitza Aparicio. And I watched it again like I think like last year, early last year, and I was like Yalitza, that's my fucking name.
It's a beautiful name,
right?
I love it. Me encanta.
And I love that you came from the nickname to the name.
Right? Isn't that funny?
Isn't
that funny? I was like, I need a long version, that's just for me. And then Angelina is my grandmother's name. That's because I never really got to like know her or like meet her. I would just talk on the phone with her. She passed away in 2011, but I have always felt her around me. I honestly feel like she's the reason I'm alive today. It's like her spirit just like looks over me, and kind of always gives me messages and stuff. So I'm gonna carry her with me forever.
That's beautiful. So you changed your name legally. And what's your full name?
Well, my full name now is Yalitza Angelina Vasquez Lopez. Through the courts of Los Angeles, I've also done the Social Security change. but like they don't tell you that you gotta like change everything like one step at a time. I gotta do like passport. That's what I was telling you. I was like, I'm in the same place because I gotta submit the whole like picture, the form, the check.
I changed my last name.
Pues sí.
So my social came in, the one that's not stamped with.
Okay.
For work purposes only, the one that's like free to do whatever you want.
So you're Vasquez Lopez. Lopez is my second last name too. So I'm Victorino Lopez.
¿A poco?
Yeah.
Oh, cousin.
So changing your name, you know, it's a huge part of your transition.
Yeah.
And of course, a bigger part of your transition is, you know, your metamorphosis.
Yeah.
As a person, as a human, just changing how you look, how you dress, medically as well. How has that experience been with you? Like how, like just internally, how has that experience like molded you into Yaya today?
I think hormones were a big part of it, TBH, like getting on hormones. But I mean, I feel like it all really just started with makeup. I think makeup was like the very first thing that just kind of like gave me a sense of like embracing a femininity that I hadn't realized I had always like pushed away, you know. And I like, as much as I want to blame society for it, because I mean, you know, like it was a different time, honestly, when I was like high school, you know, 2009.
Of course, yeah.
Like the gays were very much despised, you know, and so like drag queens and trans people even more. Pero as times were changing, you know, I was kind of like trying to make up as James Charles was becoming like famous. You know, he was actually, you know, I'm not gonna admit this in public, but he very much was like kind of one of those factors that was like, oh, like boys doing makeup is cool now, or like is a accepted thing now. You know, CoverGirl has him on the cover, and so I was like, yeah, I guess it's as good a time as any, you know, to buy some makeup and try it on.
Yeah.
And I found out that I just really liked it. I loved playing with like pigments and colors, and you know, that kind of evolved into drag, and then drag kind of was this place where I could explore this femininity in myself. And then I realized like, oh, maybe I don't ever want to like get out of drag. You know, like I feel powerful when I'm in face and all that. And then so I would like, you know, wear makeup to like gigs and stuff like that. And it was kind of a while before I actually like decided to get anything started with like medical transition, because, you know, even just I feel like just coming to terms with all of it is a bigger priority for me, like just socially transitioning.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because a lot of my sisters out here in LA, a lot of them like go for the medical and like the kind of physical first, and then decide to like socially transition afterwards once they're kind of like in the new body and the new face, everything. But yeah, I feel like for me, it's really just been like completely the opposite. Like it's all just internal. And so once I started going by Yaya, once I started like just wearing like makeup all the time, once I started just like dressing, wearing a skirt the first time was crazy. Wearing it out was crazier too. But you know, it was just bit by bit. It's all uncomfortable, but bit by bit, I've just kind of like come to terms with like who I am, and I'm still honestly like even just now like finding little pockets of like new parts of myself that I just kind of like experiment. Yeah, and it's still just as terrifying, you know. So, but yeah, I think in what was it? It was in 2023. Yeah, 2023 that I started hormones. And that was a big change.
I think I remember you were in the car and you were like, I started hormones. And we're like, congratulations.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was a big thing because I had just kind of like put it off, I guess. I feel like I put a lot of stuff off in my transition, quote unquote. But once I just press start, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, we're here now. Yeah, we're here now. Same thing with the name change. I like put it off for a whole time. Like, I was like, no, but I don't have my names yet. I don't have a middle name yet. And once I had them, I was like, no, plus I can't wait no more.
Yeah. No, I mean, I applaud you, and like, you know, of course, all the trans fam out there too, because it's like, you know, it's difficult enough to come out and feel displaced in a heteronormal world, you know, and to feel that way, but also feel or be different in a different body.
Yeah.
You know, that's amplified.
Yeah.
So the bravery and just like, I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that get que no queda de otra. Like it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you've done it with such grace and beauty and
thank you. We're here. You know, yes. I'm alive. So
yes,
just
absolutely.
Hoping to inspire at least one other person to
oh my god, so many
do the
people.
same thing.
Absolutely, you inspire me.
I was gonna say you inspire everybody.
Oh, stop it. I'm gonna cry.
And you're talking about just like socially, you know, coming out as trans to you know everyday life. How has that experience been? Like just you know social spaces.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how do you feel safe? Do you feel accepted?
Or what helps you? I mean, feel safe. Yeah.
It varies, honestly. It's like, you know, some days I feel just really like in myself.
Yeah.
And I honestly like don't pay attention to the world. It's very few days, honestly, that it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm just hyper aware of my surroundings because of like safety. You know, even though I know, like, I think I've realized now that I'm like a pretty big girl and I'm like pretty hefty too. It's like even if I don't like throw a good punch, I feel like it would land at least hard. You know, like I got a heavy hand at least. You know, or I could just like body slam them. I could eat them. Una mordidita. So like, you know, I feel like I feel confident in like my fight or flight that I can like take care of myself.
Yeah.
But I have to think about that, you know?
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Of course.
I hate that so much. And
yeah,
I like when I go out or even just out here, I'm just like, you know, and the more I get into this transition, the more I like to be like cute. And I have like these cute little go-go boots, which makes me like taller. And I just, you know, I'm like, oh, like I look fierce. But then I walk out and I'm like, all right, let's pretend none of this exists, you know? But that's the reality. So I think my life is like, I try to take life in by the actual spaces that I go to.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm still kind of like in a weird relationship with that kind of transient, liminal kind of space of like, you know, like
in between the safe places, kind of
the traveling or the just being out. Sometimes I won't even be wearing makeup or anything, but I'm wearing like a cute little top and some little booty shorts at the supermarket, you know.
Yeah.
And I still get some like, and I'm like, girl, I'm not even trying right now. Like, I'm like, but thank you. Right? I'm like, but thank you. Thank you. I'm like, you feel it, right? Oh, the band and snap. Yeah, it varies, you know. But at the same time, I know that I think it's just a calling of mine to just be in spaces where we're not supposed to be, quote unquote, you know. Or just like just be seen, you know, to just bring visibility. And I really have made peace with like, if I am like for some reason or other like, you know, hurt or like murdered or whatever because I'm just out and just being myself, then that's worth it, you know. I'd rather be killed for being myself than like for hiding, you know. Yeah.
It's, we of course don't want it to happen.
No,
that's such a like a, you know, like I think that's really powerful and beautiful in some ways, but it's so like heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like hard to just sit with, and so I appreciate you just like sharing that so openly right now. I feel like both Joe and I are like just sitting.
It inspired me because honestly, like I'm thinking about just times where I felt uncomfortable, and luckily as a man, a gay cis man.
Yeah, your sister.
I get to just
your sis.
Your sis.
I get to, if I get uncomfortable, I get to pull my hand away from my husband.
Right.
And feel safe.
Right.
You know, normal.
No, same.
So it, you know, you saying what you're saying right now, it's making me rethink things, and it makes me, you know, it inspires me not to pull my hand away.
Yeah.
And sit with the discomfort and make other people uncomfortable. I shouldn't be uncomfortable.
Exactly. It's literally, oh my God, any other people's aggression or whatever is always just going to be information that tells you about them,
Mm-hmm.
rather than what it
I like
says
that.
about
That's-
you.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to like. It's so
Remember-
hard to remember that in the moment.
Right.
Because you're like, ooh,
course.
safety.
Hyper aware.
Right. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what is those things that are making you have such strong feelings about someone living like exactly as they are?
Mhm.
Right.
And that's that very thing, because
Right.
they feel that they can't or whatever. I don't know
Right.
what it is, but that's also the whole thing with like DL man and down low, right? Men.
Yeah.
And just I guess even just dating as a trans person, it's like so many people that are attracted to us are so ashamed of it, and it's already one thing to be like in this experience and trying to like find someone to like go to the movies with or like potentially share a life with, but then when it's like low-key directly a community of people that are also kind of dealing with their own insecurities that are maybe not as visible, I guess, because I feel like as trans people we're low-key like just hella visible, no matter how we try. And DL men can just live their life as these straight men but have like this secret like desire for a trans woman and not know what to do with that, and not have the help or the resources or whatever. So it's hard, it's just kind of like this vicious circle. But being on this side, I'm like, well, I know my struggle, I know what I think about and what I have to make peace with, and I've made peace with it. So let's go to work. Let's clock in. Let's do the podcast.
Yeah. Let's go to the movies. Let's live it up.
Yeah. The world's burning anyway, so
I know, right? Might as well
party.
Be yourself and be
Yeah.
and be.
Might as well fuck.
Work.
Might as well.
También eso. Yeah, what the fuck? I feel like I'm taking things way too seriously.
No, seriously.
Because it ain't that serious.
No, seriously. Oh, that helps me so much too. Because when I'm like focused on like a little thing at work, I'm like,
you know what?
I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, wait, nothing matters.
Nothing matters, and also like we've done way harder things. You've done way harder things.
I'm like, wait, I could just literally not.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels so good.
Right? Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if there's any, like what folks really inspire you.
Oh, yes. I love this. Let's see. I had a couple of people on my list. I think more than anyone, I'm inspired by America Ferrera.
Okay.
America Ferrera for the Spanish speakers. As and you may know her as Ugly Betty, right?
Yeah. That's how we first discovered her. No, you know what? I just found Real
Women of Curse. Exactly. Yes. That was actually her first
film
ever screen role.
Yeah.
At 17.
Yeah.
And she was in high school while she was doing that.
That's amazing.
And
it was the screenplay was adapted from the
play from the Josefina.
Who's wait, the screenplay was adopted from the play that's playing right now.
No, there was a play.
It's originally a play, like just like a straight play.
Yeah.
Written by Josefina. I forgot her last name.
Rios? Is it Rios or am I making? Or maybe that was a classmate that I had.
Oh my
Josefina.
Oh.
Okay, well,
we have to look it up. I hate it.
But she has a theater in
it's Casa Cerona, no?
Yeah.
She was it was like the first theater out there in Boyle Heights because apparently this is actually why that theater exists. Lopez, right? Thank you. Who? Another cousin. But this is the reason why the theater exists is because of this play. Mm-hmm. Because back in the 90s, no theater would do her play because they thought it was too Mexican. Out here in LA.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which I thought was the craziest thing. They're like, yeah, nobody's gonna watch it, it's too Mexican.
In LA, that's crazy because there's already a large Mexican population here.
Right. And so I was like, what? And so you know what this bitch said? She was like, guess I'm gonna make my own theater where I can do my own play. And that's what she did. And I was like, that's cunty as fuck. That's kind of, I'm like, wow. So inspirational. And now it's a musical on Broadway.
Right.
I actually
in New York, but I wanted to go, but then I saw it was in New York.
Ah, pues sí. Yeah. Funny story. I actually, two of my friends who I did the theater thing with when I first started to go Yaya were in this another production of the same musical in Boston a year ago.
Yeah.
And I went to go see them in it. One of my friends, Lucy, was actually the lead, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And she killed it. She made me cry every single time I went to go see it. And they're not in the Broadway production, but I met some other friends that were in it.
Yeah.
And they're just lovely people. Esta Florencia Cuenca is I think she's known as like the first undocumented person or immigrant to like be on the Broadway stage.
No way.
Too.
I saw that she posted.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's so funny. She's una risa esa chica. Pero back to America Ferrera,
yes.
right? So that was her first role.
Gracias.
And I just love her because the first several years of her career were completely built around her appearance. So Real Women Have Curves was about this like big Latina girl, right? Dancing around in her underwear.
Yeah.
Ugly Betty was about this ugly, quote unquote fat Latina girl.
Right.
It's so funny watching it now. Like me and my
Crazy.
sister, me and my sister had this tradition where we watch it around like holiday time every year. And it's just like every year we're like, bro, she's not even fat.
Yeah.
Like she's like llenita, maybe.
Yeah, like maybe a little thick, but
right. I'm like, she's not like a supermodel, but she's not like fat. So it was just crazy. Like, cheers.
My friend just
I said cheers, I meant cheese.
My friend just asked me, what's the best part of your day? And I'm like, no, Las Paleteras.
That's so cute. Oh, same.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, me too. I agree.
Me too.
Oh, cheers to America Ferrera. Yeah, I think the drunker you get, the harder it is to say.
It's like saying for a Roche.
Okay, so then her
So I love her.
The first part, and then
now she's she did Superstore. She was like a producer, and now I think at that point, after it ended, she was also going to do like a Mexican version of Superstore in Mexico. And now I don't even know what she's working on. She had an interview on Brene Brown's podcast, Dare to Lead. Yeah. Which is a 2-part podcast because there was so much good stuff in there.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay. Definitely so listen to that.
Okay. Just recommend it. But she's such an inspiration. And she's from Canoga Park too. So, little vecinita. But I just love everything she stands for. Like this Latina girl who, I mean, it must not have been easy to like have your whole ass career be around how you look.
Yeah.
Like
blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
Blessing in her instance because
of the opportunities
that
great.
But
it's like, oh girl, like literally being known as Ugly Betty is insane, right? I'm sure she's she's a powerful Latina. I mean, Barbie movie.
Yeah, I'm sure she's crying into her $100 bill.
Right. She's like, oh,
she's
doing great. She's doing great. But I relate to a lot of that. I feel because like, I mean, I feel like as a performer, whatever opportunity you get, if it's a cool one, it's like sometimes you don't get to choose the days that you want to be perceived. And that's kind of how I feel sometimes. It's like without like just performing as a mariachi is like some days I just really don't want to be seen, but I'm like, let's do the makeup, let's do everything, let's do the shapeshifter. So like put our faja on.
Not the shapeshifter.
The shapeshifter. That's what my friend Nessa calls it. And I've never called it anything else.
I love the shapeshifter.
She's like, yeah. So like, she's like, one time my shapeshifter got caught, and I was like, you're what? It's like my shapeshifter, my faja pues. And I was like, you call it a shapeshifter? That's so cute.
I fucking love it.
I'm like, it is though, Like I put it on, I'm like, who is she, honey? It's the magic.
That's amazing. Okay, so I have a question for you. So let's say that little Yaya, or let's say even little Alan, was sitting right.
Oh
front,
no!
right here.
Not the RuPaul question.
They're sitting right here. What would you
speak to the camera?
What would you tell little Alan or someone else, but early in their journey?
I would tell him what I tell him every single day, and that's that you are so deserving and so wonderful and so full of life. And like it's gonna be hard, and that's just what the nature of life is. But your community is always gonna be there to pull you through, and you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. Because the reason that you feel so intensely is your superpower. And, you know, it may feel like the world is ending, but it's just a chemical reaction in your brain. Nothing lasts longer for 2 minutes. Just test it out, I swear. Breathe through it. And you'll see that in 2 minutes, you'll be fine. And life literally goes on. So, you know, move on to the next thing because you're going to do amazing things. And that's the nature of life too.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
It's a life well lived.
Right? You know?
Yeah.
I always think of my mom when I think of that. Because they say, what do they say? Una casa limpia is like a sign of a life not lived or something like that.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
Right. I'm like, I think that's just what cochinas say. I'm like,
not me, like whenever I can, I'm like fucking crazy over here.
Oh no, what is it? A clean house is a sign of a wasted life. That's what it is. Oh, it's an American thing. Never mind. It has nothing to do with my mom.
Throw her under the bus.
Oh no, it doesn't, because she'd always be like limpia. And I'm like, Mom, a clean house is a sign of a wasted life. She's like,
I love how you try to say my mommy used to always used to say.
I'm like, oh no, wait, I said that to my mom.
It was actually me.
It was
whatever.
It was actually a retaliation.
I'm on board with the sentiment though.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
What are some recommendations of like music, movie, or anything that you're watching, entertainment? Open your eyes, open your heart, something that's inspiring you right now.
It's a great question.
Oh my god, I feel like Heartstopper, the series on Netflix, is such a inspiration to me. It's like these little British kids, these little British queer kids, you know, just living their lives. One of them is like finding out that he's bi. There's a trans girl who's like getting into a relationship. There's these two lesbians who are like figuring out how to say I love you to each other. There's just like all of these cute little relationship things. And they're all in like, you know, high school, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it like Euphoria?
Yeah, it's like Euphoria.
No
one's doing
drugs. A little more wholesome.
Yeah, no one's doing drugs.
Wholesome queer story.
Yeah, it's like
kind of cute.
I
would like to watch that.
Yeah, it's so wholesome. And they're all British, you know, so they're like,
that's cute.
Ain't it?
Sometimes we need wholesome things.
Yeah.
And also like wholesome queer things, because I feel like so many queer stories are very traumatic.
And tragic.
So is this more? It's like, is it happier?
Yeah. So much.
Okay, we need that. All right, I'm gonna write that down. Was it Heartstopper?
Heartstopper, yeah.
Okay.
It does get tragic, but I think it's in such a grounded and like actual like realistic way.
Yeah.
And that's actually not about their queerness. It's like actual just like mental health stuff like, that they're dealing like one of the boys is like dealing through something that happened as a result of him getting bullied that he kind of like pushed away.
Yeah.
And now his like boyfriend's like helping him through it. And he's like, damn, I can't leave him. Like, and it's like, oh, there's these problems that are actually real in relationships. Oh god.
Regardless of
their identities.
Sexuality and identities. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's a beautiful story. It's about to end too. They're gonna end with a film.
Oh wait, I feel like I heard about this.
That's a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about this.
I'm kind of sad though. I'm like, I don't want it to end.
Eli watches it. I want to watch it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cute.
Yeah, let him know, Eli.
Yeah. Put me on.
Is he on? Is he watching us?
I think so. Yeah. He said cheers, and then he sent us a little.
Oh, that's so
cheers,
sweet.
Eli.
What a good husband.
Right?
What a sweet love.
Good boy.
Why can't we all find love like that?
No tienes pareja? Oh, never mind. Cut the cameras.
You know, Yaya's into
Right. You know, I'm like,
it's complicated. It's complicated.
Masculine.
Complicated. It's complicated on the status on Facebook.
Yeah,
That's so
that's
funny.
crazy. We saw that.
Right?
Anyways,
Bruh, that's
so another question for you, Yaya.
This is an interview. It's not a podcast.
We're-
This is bombarding.
I love it.
What do you wish allies knew
Hmm.
or did more often to generally support
Oh yeah.
trans folks and trans women specifically?
Whew. I mean, I feel like the bare minimum.
There we go. The
Bare
bare minimum. I've been working out, so
bare minimum.
She's like the
the bare minimum.
Bare minimum is just like, you know, you hear some shit about being talked about trans people, like shut that shit down.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's it.
whatever little microaggressions happen, you're like, hey, that's actually not correct, or that's actually kind of transphobic.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, like don't call them out, like call them in if you can, because that's how they learn better.
I like that.
And by they, I mean like we as humans.
Right.
Right. Again. But that's bare minimum. You know, it's just like advocate for trans people in your spaces. I think when it comes to more like direct action, it's, you know, going out to the protests, going out to events, even like if you see an event that is like trans people only, but you want to learn more or you want to meet trans people, just go. You know, like don't like it's. I know it's the intention that you're like, oh, I don't feel like I'm gonna be like encroaching on the space.
Yeah.
But it really is about the intention, you know. And
you're not gonna get
that.
kicked out,
and they'll feel that, you know. Be like, if you even are just honest, like, hey, I just don't know any trans people and I want to like meet some. Is that okay if I just like sit in and like don't talk? The organizers are gonna be like, oh, thank you for coming. You know, I would say that. I'd be like, oh my God, thank you for coming. Please feel free to speak, you know.
Sit your ass down and shut up.
But also shut the fuck up. That you know, following trans creators, following whatever trans artists or filmmakers are in your local area, going to drag shows. So many drag performers out here, especially in downtown LA, are trans. And the drag to trans pipeline is something that needs to be studied intensely. But it's so real, you know. We're just out here all the time, and like just meet us. You know?
Get yourself one of these. You won't regret it.
For only 3 small payments of
$199.99. That's it.
That's it.
$1,999.99.
And a few zeros. No, I'm honestly very, very grateful to like know you, to be your friend, to like hang out and see you and care about you. Elaine actually and I talk about you often.
So I've heard
it. No, we
talk shit about me.
Every time, like not every time we hang out, but we've talked and we're like, wow, like we're so grateful to have you as a friend, to have you in our lives. Like, you know what I mean? It's not something crazy like, wow, we have a trans friend, because you're just a person, but to have you as a friend.
Oh, stop.
Like, you're such a ray of sunshine and inspiration and talent, you know, and it's always such a good time and good energy when we're hanging out with you. So I appreciate you. And honestly, like, don't get yourself a trans friend, get yourself a Yaya. You know, because
just meet me.
Honestly,
you know what? Let's just do a meet and greet.
All right, where can people meet you next again? Where are you gonna be at?
I'm at work. Girl.
I'm at work. I'm at home.
At the next,
That's it.
No, yeah, but I am at work, and that is actually somewhere that I'm really, really proud to be at.
Yeah.
Where people can actually, you know, come in and meet me if they want to. I work for Latino Equality Alliance, which is a nonprofit out in East LA and Southeast LA. And at the office that I'm at in Bell is actually the first queer resource center in Southeast LA area. Like the entire Southgate or legal
all the
gateway cities, like all of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a desert out there when it comes to queer resources. So I'm really, really proud to be part of that. Shit is scary out there because of ICE. But we're here. We had our movie night, like a little pride movie night on Friday where we watched To Wong Fu. Thanks for everything.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen it?
Oh my god, I need to make a list of things I need
so
to
good.
watch.
We're having a movie night.
I see John Leguizamo often because I work for Mito.
That's
So
fucking cool.
we're seeing him on
Can I meet him?
Saturday
Can I, like,
because
meet him sometime?
he
Wait,
has
wait.
the premiere of his Leguizamo Does America season 2.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be there.
That's right.
And I'm always when I go, Chichi Rodriguez.
Wait. So what is this called again? One more time.
Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Okay.
Wait, just Tu Wong Fu.
Tu Wong Fu. We did.
Okay.
It's a long name.
The
full name.
I'll send it to you. We will have a movie night
Okay.
next week. Or
So
something.
good.
It's
Okay.
I forgot how good that movie is.
Little boy in drag. Why are you crying?
Little Latin boy in
Latin boy
drag.
in drag.
Why are you crying? Oh my god, it's just so good. It's what's his name? Patrick Swayze. And what's
Wesley
his name?
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes and
Johnny
John
Legs.
Leguizamo.
When he was little, no?
Yeah, they were all young and beautiful.
And alive.
Alive.
Who died?
Fuck.
Who died? Patrick Swayze? Did he die?
Yeah.
Oh,
did he really?
what
I
happened
don't
to him?
think
I don't even know.
I think
Cancer.
health issues.
Did you say,
Oh, shit.
which
Health issues.
Oh.
I don't know.
they said poppers.
No.
I was like, you can die from
poppers.
I was like, you can
Oh, that's
Damn.
crazy.
I was like, I don't know about that. That's some gay shit.
That's some gay shit. Period. Gag him.
I love what I
Overdose.
That's some gay shit, honey.
Oh, I love that. It needs to be in a movie. Overdose on poppers.
No, for real.
But thank
No,
you
but that's
so
such a-
much, Yaya. We love you. We appreciate
what a pleasure.
you.
What a fucking
Yeah.
fun time.
Yeah.
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 Loved hanging out with both of you.
Yeah, me
Thanks.
too.
Yeah. They're cute.
This is your guys' first time meeting, right?
No.
No, you guys
No.
You went
No, I
to
went to the show, but I think we met before, no?
I think we met at the show in person for the first time. Because before that, I think it was just virtual,
Yeah.
right? This is
Yeah.
our first time hanging
Oh,
out.
true.
Tuesday, first time hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who do not know, Yaya was in the running to be one of America's Next Top.
Right.
One of the Paletitas.
Yes.
But due to work schedule,
But I started
Due
a
to
whole-
due to her very full schedule.
I ended up starting a Paletera business.
Yeah.
So
check it out.
it was much more lucrative.
Rolling it out. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys.
We hope you had fun.
We hope you had fun and learned
something. As we always you know, getting a good Las Paleteras episode if you didn't laugh, if you didn't cry,
Yeah.
and if you didn't learn something.
Good.
There
So
you go.
hopefully you check those all out.
I feel like we did all of
I
those
think- I
tonight,
think so.
low-key.
Check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check. There you go.
Well, you guys, let us know what topics you would like us to cover next. Please comment, subscribe, like, share, lo que sea.
Share with your friends.
And wait, really quick, where can people find you?
Oh yes. Well, I'm like in the middle of like a rebrand right now, but
If you want them to find you,
right,
they
you can
don't have to.
you can find me once my rebrand is finished. You can find me at Trans Mariachi Girl on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok as Yaya Vasquez Lopez, and also Trans Mariachi Girl. I have way too many accounts, girl.
Her TikTok's fun.
Yeah, I just made a new one today. Actually, I was telling Ana Sheila about it.
She loves to talk to the camera, and I'm always like there for it. I'm like, okay, so.
I make a lot of TikToks when I'm going through it, but that hasn't been the case anymore. So we're in a new era. All right, cut the camera.
Beautiful. All right. Okay, hasta luego. Buenas noches. Besitos.
Bye.
Bye.
Las Paleteras.